हेलो एवरीवन, आप सभी का फिर से एक बार स्वागत है मेरे यूट्यूब चैनल में जिसका नाम है कॉमर्स ट्रेजर। इन दिस वीडियो वी आर गोइंग टू कंटिन्यू आवर डिस्कशन ऑन MCQs on research aptitude for upcoming NET and KCET exam. I have already made one video on this topic. If you have not seen that video, I am putting the link into the description as well as in the I button to watch that video. And without wasting much time, let us go to the next 15 questions. Which of the following is or are the code of ethics to be followed by a researcher? Every researcher has to follow some ethic. Ethics is nothing but rules or regulations which you need to follow, maintain high standards of data accuracy. Definitely this is what you have to follow. Ensuring the privacy of respondents, definitely this is also very important code of ethics. Researcher should not intentionally prove an point, this is also correct. So all of the above are the code of ethics which has to be followed by a researcher. The issue of research ethics may be considered pertinent at which stage of the research? At the stage of problem formulation, at the stage of defining the population, at the stage of data collection and interpretation, at the stage of reporting the finding. So in all the stages there may be chance of research ethics not being considered, but the most important stage where research ethics is considered and it is pertinent is at that stage of data collection and interpretation, because most of the unethical practices or falsification or biasness etc. happens at the stage of data collection and when we are analyzing the data and interpreting the results. Which of the following is not considered as unethical? Publishing the same paper in two different journals without telling the editors, this is definitely unethical. You cannot publish the same paper in two different journals and that too without saying the editor. It is totally wrong. Using the data, ideas or methods you learn about without the author's permission, this is also unethical practice. You cannot use anyone's data, idea or methods without his permission. Using an inappropriate statistical technique in order to enhance the significance of your research, this is also unethical, because you are using a statistical technique which is proving your point which may be not true, then it is unethical. Maintaining good research records, definitely this is an ethical practice. So in question they have asked which is not considered as unethical. Definitely maintaining of good research records is not considered as unethical. Which of the following is not a component of preliminary section of research report? Now a research report is nothing but at the end of every research you have to present all the data into a report in writing, that is called as a research report. I have made a detailed video on research reports, its components, essential things which are to be there in research report. If you have not seen that video, I am putting the link in the description as well as in the I button. Do watch that video, it is going to help you for the upcoming exam. Title page, it is a part of preliminary section. Appendix, no, it is not a part of preliminary section. List of tables and chart, this is also a part. Acknowledgements are also a part. So appendix is usually there at the end of the research report, so it comes in the reference section and not in the preliminary section. So let us just have a quick look of the three sections which are there in a research report. The first section is preliminary section, which includes title of the research, that is a title page. Acknowledgement, which includes all the declarations and certificates. Table of contents, whatever are present in your research. List of tables and charts which you have made in the research. Main body includes introduction to the topic, what exactly is the topic of your research. Literature review, from which all articles and theses you got an idea to do this research. Design of the study, which includes tools and techniques used in the research, source of data collected, methods of data collection, etc. Analysis of data, which includes different types of tests which you are going to use in your research. Coding of the data, classification of the data, etc. Findings, suggestions and conclusion, which is the last part of the main body, which includes the findings from the research, suggestions which you are giving to the problem and conclusion of the research. And lastly comes the reference section, which includes three important points. One is bibliography, which includes the list of articles, book, references, etc. from where you have taken the information. Appendix includes any chart or tables which you have not included in chapter 4, that is analysis of the data, or questionnaires through which you have collected the data, reports, etc. Footnote includes required explanation and references which the author or the researcher has given for the researchers who are going to use this research in their studies in future. Which of the following is not related to research? APA style, MLA style, ROC style, CMS style. So ROC style is not at all related to research. Apart from these, the remaining three are the styles of writing a research reports or writing the citations and references of the research report. APA stands for American Psychological Association, which is mostly used in social sciences, education, psychology, etc. MLS stands for Modern Language Association, used in English and literature, and CMS stands for Chicago Manual of Style, used in humanities. So all these are important from exam point of view. Questions on APA and MLS have been asked in the previous KSET and NET exams. Application of ICT. ICT stands for Information and Communication Technology. Is done in which of the following stages? Pre-data analysis, during data analysis, post-data analysis, all of the above. So ICT is used in all of the above stages. In pre-data analysis, we use it for finding out about research articles, literature review, data collection, etc. During the analysis, we make use of ICT to test using different softwares and analyze the data. And post-data analysis, it is used for making presentation, writing references, compilation of bibliography to find out plagiarism, submission of the thesis, etc. So ICT is actually a very important part of research in today's world. Bibliography given in a research report helps those interested in further research and studying problem from different angle, shows the vast knowledge of the researcher, makes the report authentic, none of the above. So definitely option number A. Whenever you write bibliography, it helps to those who are further interested in the same research and studying the problem from a different angle point of view. A small group of experts in a specific area of knowledge assembled at a place and presented on a topic. This process may be termed as. So whenever there are small group of experts who are gathering in a place and conducting a meeting to discuss something, it is always called as workshop. If the number of people are more or large, then it is called as a conference. When the number of participants are even more and it is done at a national or international level, then it is called as a congress. So workshop is a smaller one, conference is a large one, and congress is largest among all these things. Seminar is nothing but it is a way in which discussions are done where experts comes and present their points and then discussion will be done on that particular points. Which technique is generally followed when population is generally finite? Now finite is nothing but which can be counted. So therefore whenever the population is finite, the best technique which we can use is systematic sampling. Now systematic sampling is nothing but here we just simply select a first sample on random basis, then we use a system and using that system we select the samples on random basis. For example, in a class if there are 500 students and I have to select using systematic sampling, I'll just select a simple random number, for example 3, and every 10th student from 3 is going to be selected in my sample. So 3, 13, 23, 33, 43, all these up to 493 are going to be selected in my sample. Whenever the size of the sample is less than 30 and population SD is not given, the test used is t-test, z-test, f-test, chi-square test. So whenever the size of the sample is less than 30 and population SD is not given, it is called as a small sample test, and t-test will be used for small sample test. So t-test was given by William Gossett under his pen name T. The degree of freedom of t-test will be n-1. Z-test was given by Professor Fisher and it is used whenever population SD is given and sample size is more than 30. F-test is used whenever you have to compare two population variances, and chi-square test was given by Carl Pearson and it is used whenever we have to find out association or relationship between two variables. Now if I have to find out whether my video has any association with your passing NET or KCET exam, then I have to use chi-square test. A statistical measure based upon the entire population is called as parameter, while measure based on sample is known as sample parameter, no. Inference, no. Statistic, yes. So whenever you are finding out the characteristic of a population, it is called as parameter. Whenever you are finding out the characteristic of a sample, it is called as characteristic. So population parameter may be mu, sigma, capital X bar, and statistic may be small x bar, SD, small p, etc. A researcher divides his population into a certain group and fixes the size of the sample from each group. It is called as stratified sample, quota sample, cluster sample, all of the above. Now in case of stratified sampling, quota sampling and cluster sampling, we are going to divide the population into groups, but whenever we fix the size of the sample of each group, then it is called as quota sampling, because here we are fixing the quota of number of samples which are going to be selected. So quota sampling is a non-probability based sampling, because here all the population does not have the equal chance of being selected into the sample. Stratified sampling is nothing but whenever you are dividing the whole population based on homogeneous characteristics, then it is called as stratified sampling. Here each group is called as strata and you are going to select from each strata. For example, if I divide the whole teaching community into 3 groups, first group is school level teaching, second group is college level teaching, and third group is PG level teaching, and then I select 5 samples from each group, then it is called as stratified sampling. Cluster sampling is nothing but dividing the whole population into heterogeneous groups. Each groups will be heterogeneous to each other, and then we are going to select any of the one group, not from each group. So here group as a whole is going to be selected, and in stratified sampling from each group we are going to select certain number of samples. The best example of cluster sampling is dividing a whole locality into different wards and then selecting 1 or 2 wards from the total number of wards. The research design is related to sample selection, definitely yes. Formulation of experimental design, yes. Selection and construction of tool, yes. So all of the above are related to research design. Research design is nothing but it is a blueprint which you have to have before conducting a research, because it helps us to find out the cost as well as the benefits of research, and it gives us a plan how to conduct the research. The choice of one-tailed test or two-tailed test depends upon null hypothesis, alternative hypothesis, composite hypothesis, both A and B. So always one-tailed test or two-tailed test depends upon the alternate hypothesis. Null hypothesis is nothing but which states that population parameter is equal to sample statistics. For example, if I write mu is equal to 140, then it is called as a null hypothesis. Alternative hypothesis takes 3 forms: mu is not equal to, mu more than, or mu less than. So here if it is not equal to, then it becomes two-tailed test, because there is a chance of rejection on both the sides, that is right side and left side. And whenever it is more than or less than, it becomes one-tailed test. If it is on left side, it is called as left-tailed test, and if it is on a right side rejection area, then it is called as a right-tailed test. The attitudinal scale which makes use of weights is Likert scale, Thurstone scale, Gutman scale, Factor scale. So whenever we are making use of weights, then the scale used is Thurstone scale. Example of Thurstone scale is, if I ask you a question, what do you think about my video? It is very good and informative from exam point of view. It is not good and not informative from exam point of view. It is good but requires more corrections. Then this type of scale is called as Thurstone scales. Here I am going to assign points to each statement, and then at last whatever you select, I'll add the mean of that statement and find out the analysis of that statement. Likert scale is very popular. It may be 5-point scale or it may be a 7-point scale. 5-point scale is more popular. So here you try to divide the statement into different scales or ranks. For example, if I ask you to rate my video and give you options as excellent, good, fair, poor, very poor, then this is called as Likert scale, because here I have given you 5 options. You have to select either of the one option from this 5 option. Guttman scale is based on ratio scale as well as ordinal scale. So here there will be interval given for each scale. For example, if I give you an option of how much you are satisfied with my video, rate it from 0 to 10, then it is an example of Guttman scale. Your answer is going to be in between 0 to 10. If you give 5, it means that 1, 2, 3, 4 are already included in your answer. So it is based on hierarchy of points. So this is all about research aptitude. If you like the video, please hit the like button, and if you haven't subscribed my channel yet, please subscribe my channel and also press the bell icon so that you can get a notification as soon as I upload a new video. Thank you for watching the video, and let us meet again in another video.